So beating Donald Trump is an important thing for us to do. We really need to do that. But it is not all we need to do. We have to figure out how to govern this country. My sense is that we can't afford another 10 years like the last 10. We can't afford another 10 years where healthcare is not addressed in this country, where we don't have the decency to invest in the infrastructure, the roads and bridges that our parents and grandparents had the decency to build for us, much less build the infrastructure for the next. I mean, the list is so long of the things that are stacking up in the immobilization of Washington, and we got to find a way to overcome those guys. And I think the way to do it is really, as I say, to reach broadly out to the American people, and in the end, build a coalition of Democrats, Republicans, and Independents that can not only overcome the broken politics in Washington, but begin to create a future that we all really want for this country. This is the only country in the world where millions and millions of people, through no fault of their own, are in that position. I should say the only industrialized country in the world. The only Western country where that's true. And it has nothing to do with healthcare. It has everything to do with politics. I think Americans are going to say, I want the choice. I want to decide for my family what is right for my family. And that's why I propose what I propose, because I think it gives us a better shot of getting it done. Of course, all of us agree on those three principles. The president has spent his entire administration trying to take insurance. He's successfully taken insurance away from millions of Americans, including trying to get it away from people that have pre-existing conditions. And that's a reason he should lose. Now we have an inconvenient problem because we happen to have elected a person who's a climate denier. And he should have lost the election just on the basis of that. Just on the basis of that. But he didn't lose the election because he won an argument on jobs. And he scared the American people that dealing with climate was going to kill jobs in America, when the opposite is true. Because if your parents' income is the predictor of your education, that's a vicious relationship for people. And so I think we got to transform our education system. That's what I believe. And I think, to put it very simply, in the simplest terms, we need, and saying and stipulating for a minute, I'm not saying this is all the federal government's job. This is state and local government and the federal government. We got to provide high quality preschool to kids all over America. We need to have every K-12 school be good enough that any senator that has a choice to send their kid there would be willing to send their kid there. But I think if we had a president who understood something about education and made it a big priority, there are states and there are communities around the world who would say, you know what, we're ready to do something that looks like it belongs in the 21st century instead of the 17th century or the 18th century. And I think we can do it. I think there's a lot, thank you. I think there's a lot we can do. I believe that the president has committed impeachable offenses. I've said that for weeks. I've said that since I read the Mueller report. And I believe very strongly that we should start the hearings. I want to make sure we do it in a way that makes it harder for Donald Trump to get reelected, not easier for Donald Trump to get reelected, and we need to keep that focus. And I think also, finally, coming from Colorado, I think I give people an opportunity to vote for somebody who's from the center of the country, not from the edges of the country. And I think that's important for us, I mean, as Democrats, to show that we want to compete every